few different hats here in the city, guys. One of the hats is I teach at the University of Memphis, super part-time. So I don't want to go all nutty professor on you guys and get to talking all day, so I kept a little outline to keep myself on topic. The other thing I do is I direct a K-12 school here in Memphis. It's called EES Success Academy. And so what I'm going to do today is just basically share with you what we share with the parents, teachers, and students at Success Academy all year long. Okay? So when you're talking about personal finance, there's about 3 things that you want to keep in mind. That's now, later, and hidden money. Can y'all repeat that? Now, later, and hidden money. Okay, so we're going to go in order. So we want to talk about now. When you're thinking about how you spend your money, there's something that you need to look at. You got your need versus your wants, okay? And all the time, your wants are trying to get control of your money, right? Mm-hmm. It means you're like, yeah, you get on the back burner. Mm-hmm. But no, we have to be responsible, right? Because a lot of us are parents, we have little people who are watching, right? Right. And even educators, if you're like me, your kids are kind of older, you still got kids watching you. There's eyes on you all the time when you're making decisions relative to your money. And so I like to tell people, look at the basic needs. What are the basic needs that I have that require my money? What is one of them?
Bills.
Food.
I need food.
Shelter.
I need shelter. Need some clothes. And I need some transportation. And that's 4 things. And basically that's it. So let's look at those 4 things. So when we're talking about food and you're thinking about how you're spending your money, raise your hand if you're tempted to eat like this a lot. Tempted. I didn't say you did it, but maybe tempted. You know? So that starts to add up, right? Dropping by McDonald's real quick, that stuff adds up, right? And so we were talking about hidden money, that's number 3, but that's visual money that you can see. And there's nothing worse than going through a drive-thru line, you order your hamburger from McDonald's, get down the street and that thing dry. Fries been sitting up there all day long, tastes like grease. But that money's gone, right? That's gone. That was not a good usage of that particular money, right? So we got to balance. Cook at home or eat out. Which makes more sense? Because when you're thinking about personal finance, we need to start looking at the end. I think too many people spend time on thinking about just today and tomorrow. But the end, raise your hand, somebody tell me, what age do you want to just stop working and you want to chill out, just be done working? Now? Now? Huh? I heard 60. Give me another age.
55.
55? 35. Ooh, you don't have to work hard, buddy.
20.
So when you start looking at the end and you know you got that target age, I want to be done. 55, 60, 35. I want to be done. Then how can I stop working? I got to have something saved up, right? So then we go back to today. Baby in the back seat. McDonald's, mama! Cook versus eat out. Because 55 is coming and it's coming real fast. Right? Last time I checked, it was Christmas time. Now here we go. What is summer? Yeah. Yeah, so it's going fast. So just those thoughts, just being very responsible to think about that, mindful to think about things like that. And let's talk about clothing, especially if you got little bitty kids. One of the things that kind of, when I'm counseling people, it's kind of painful to look at little bitty kids' feet, and they got some $200 Jordans on their feet. Well, mama. Yeah. So they have to discount. But there's something to think about, because that little foot is going to grow, and we don't know when it's going to grow. We just got these shoes. These shoes need to last, right? So we have to make those decisions. Do I get some Jordans, or do I get the in and the in? When I'm talking about clothing, I go in and in, nice and neat. When I'm talking about clothing for little people who are going to grow, that's my youngest right there. She's 15. I think she's right at the point where she's about finished growing for a girl, right? 'Cause girls, they're done a lot quicker than boys. So that's something to think about. Am I going to spend all of that money on a little body or a little foot that's going to grow super fast? And while we're talking about clothing, me and my husband have an agreement. Because girls, we know it's some cute purses out there, right? Mm-hmm. With some cute bags. But we have an agreement. I don't get one unless I know I can keep the same amount that it costs in there on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So if the bag costs $300, $300 better be in that bag on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. Not belonging to anybody. It's not MLG and W's money I'm just holding for them, right? So those are things to think about. Why do you have something, a purse, an item of clothing, or anything like that, but you don't have that amount of money? It's just different ways to look at things. Does that make sense? Because remember what the end was, 55, 60, coming fast. Okay? Because sometimes it's a timing thing. All right? It may not be time to get that bag, but it's coming. Got my eye on you. I'm going to get that bag, and I'm going to make sure when I have it, I can keep that amount of money in it. And let's talk about shelter next. Anybody own a home? Anybody want to own a home? Okay. So now we got to talk about the benefits of renting versus owning. What's happening to the money when we pay rent? Every month we pay that money. Where does it go? To the landlord. To the landlord. Does it help you any? No. Except it secures your spot for the next month, right? But when you own it, what happens to that money every time you pay a mortgage payment?
Equity.
Equity. But who does it belong to? You. It's still the bank's until you get that deed, but it's basically it's yours, right? You can borrow against it. 1 month rolls around. This is the thing I love about having a mortgage. The first rolls around, we don't have that money. Nobody finna put you out. You're not finna get put out. You're not even sweating. It'll take about 6 months to get you out of that house. By then you had the money, right? So, renting versus owning, but it takes a little work to get to ownership. So we got to keep that credit clean. There's places in Memphis, one of them I love is NACA, N-A-C-A. If you've never bought a home before, they will walk you through the process, okay? They have different programs available to help you with down payments and all these different things, okay? So home ownership should be your goal, all right? Especially if you got young people, because when you're 50, your young people will be old people with their own families. You want a spot for them to come back and visit. Not stay, like visit, right? Okay, so transportation. We got two choices. Buy a cash car, or we can buy one with a note attached to it. Which one makes more sense? Cash car makes more sense, but if we're being vain and bougie too soon, we go get that big truck with the big note. Then what? 50 and 60 is coming, but where's my money going? If I'm going to make it to 50 and 60, that means the majority of my money each month needs to be getting put away in savings. Because if more is going out than stays in, I'm not going to make it to my goal. So the goal has to be I put away more money than I pay out each month. All right? So let's talk about later. Sometimes people think this is a cuss word, saving. Saving is not a cuss word. It's not. And so he should even be saving. And I believe that you should talk to your money. You should have your little savings account at the house and one at the bank. Why do you need one at the house? Why you need some cash at the house? Emergencies, you can't always get to the bank.
Or the bank might decide to shut down.
The bank might decide to shut down because you know what? The bank doesn't have as much money in that building as you think they do. COVID run around through here again. Everybody go run into the bank and go to Walmart and get some food and tissue. The bank, Walmart, food and tissue. Okay? So you better have some stash of cash at the house. And I think you need to talk to it. You need to go check on it. You need to go look at it every day. How you doing? You ready to work for me? You're growing. Let me put a little more with you. Get you big and fat. You need to interact with your money. Go visit it. Tell it I'm not going to spend you, because at 60 you're going to hook me up. Right? Okay? And these are things you need to teach your young people. Whatever you do, tell them to watch you. Watch mama. This is what I do. This is how I do that. This is why I do that. Mama, why you got that money in that drawer? That money in that drawer is going to hook us up one day. Let me come look in the drawer in your room. Why is there no money in your drawer? Get some money in your drawer. Right? Okay? So, the Bible has this illustration of an ant. I love it. It says, consider the ant. Has anybody ever watched the ant before you step on him? Just watch him. Pay attention to what he's doing. What's he doing? He's working. Have you ever looked at an ant? I want you to find some ants and watch them, okay? Don't step on them, just watch them. Okay? They always have something on their back. Yeah, you just gotta watch them. Some of them need to be stepped on. So they always have something on their back. They're working constantly. They're taking that food, whatever it is they need, back to their house. They're working constantly. They should be an example for us. We should be constantly working, and we should be constantly storing up for the future, and include the children in that process. And there's another thing before I get off of this. Make sure your kids understand how the light bill works. Make sure they understand that, you know what, we're not in this room anymore. We need to turn this switch off. Why are we turning it off, Mama? We saving money. Oh, let me turn it off. Okay? Help them understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. Okay? The worst thing you can do is let your kids think that you're rich. Is that helping them? It's not going to help them, because if they think you're rich and then at one time and you got to tell them no, they're going to look at you crazy. We got that money. Why are you telling me no? You don't love me no more. I love you. I'm going to show you the real deal, okay? We saving money. We got a goal. Mama trying to start working at 55 and 60. Let's get on this train together. So now let's talk about this hidden money. You've been wondering about that, right? Let me go and tell you. Everybody in the room got hidden money. All of you. Where is that, right? Okay. Let's talk about the hidden money. God put greatness in you when he put you in the womb. And he puts your key to your hidden money right here. Okay? So where is it? It's a talent. It's a gift that you have. A lot of you have talents and gifts. And how many of you know you should be starting a business, but for whatever reason you haven't done it? Let me see your hand. Go on, be bold. Be bold. Be bold. Tell on yourself. Okay? So one of the things we do at EES Success Academy, we teach every kid, you need to have multiple income streams. And we don't just tell them, it's a grade that they need to have at least 3. Our middle schools and high schools, they have to have 3 different income streams. And we include our parents on that journey. And I want to challenge you. Your hidden money is attached to your talent, that gift. That you might say, well, I'm scared to move on. Well, I'm too old, the time is past. The devil is a lie. You can still capitalize on what God gave you, okay? The thing that you have to do is just be bold and move forward, okay? A lot of people are sitting back praying to God, please bless my finances. Please bless my, Lord, would you give me some money? He looking at you like, I did. I did. And if you have young kids, you have extra money. Because the same gifts you have inside of you, they have their own set. And so now it's time to empower them to be bold and be courageous and step out on that. So your hidden money is attached to your talent. You got to move on that. No, you don't have to run out and go get the business license first. No, just move on it so you can see how it works, how everything flows, okay? And when you start making some money, then go pay for a business license, okay? All right, the correct way to start a business is very biblical. Anybody ever heard of the widow of Zarephath? See your hand if you ever heard of this widow. One person, okay? There was this widow in the Bible. She was about to get put out of her house. And the man of God came to her and he said, You have what you need in your house to get out of this situation. So he told her, use what you have in your house and start a business. She did. But she included her 2 sons. So the 3 of them ran a business together. They didn't go out and buy startup materials or supplies. They just went to the house and used what was in there. And it worked out for them. God blessed them for their obedience. Okay? He's going to do the same thing for you. So whatever it is that you're sitting on, it's time to get up off of that. Okay? Right? So that way, start establishing these multiple income streams. Because a lot of you have more than one talent. A lot of you got more than one gift. You know how to do many things. Okay? And I know I got some educators in the room. You got degrees and letters behind your name. That's multiple talents, multiple streams. Consulting, putting that book out there, which you should have been writing a long time ago. All these things, it's time to start capitalizing on these things. What do you do if you get to the end of your life and you've never moved on those dreams, on those goals? Real smart dude named Miles Monroe said one time, and it struck me. He said, one of the most wealthiest places in the world is the cemetery. How is that? All those people died with all that knowledge inside of them, gifts inside of them, stuff they never tapped into. Don't let that be you. Okay? You may notice something about your talent or your gift. When you really think about it, it's not even really for you. It's for other people to enrich their lives some kind of way, but you get the benefit of it. You make the money from it. So I'm gonna leave you with a challenge today. Before I leave you, I'm just gonna ask a couple people. What is that gift you've been sitting on? What's that talent? We want to hear. Bam, you. What is it that you've been sitting on?
Like you said, I'm one of the person that can do a lot. I know how to decorate. I know how to plan things. I know how to sing. I know how to draw. It's a lot of stuff I really just know how to do.
It's a lot of stuff. So I challenge you to step out on it. If you got 2 beautiful people that's watching you, they're going to 3, and they're going to do exactly what you do. So you're going to be bold and courageous right now. And you know what they're going to do when you start moving on your talents? They're going to start moving on theirs. And they're going to come alongside you and help you push yours out there. Okay? One more person. What are you sitting on? Don't make me point you out.
I will point.
One more person. One more person. Yeah, you do look real talented. I'm thinking you got a lot of stuff. I'm thinking you got a whole lot.
I do.
Give me just one of them. Give me just one of them.
I am really a mechanic.
You're a mechanic. You ever would have thought that? But you're a secret weapon because of that. Because nobody sees you coming. Okay? And so because of it, when they find out what you can do, they're going to throw their pockets at you. Okay? So I challenge you guys to stop sitting on what God has given you. Use the money that you do have very wisely. And He's going to put His hand on you and begin to bless what you're working with. Thank you for having me.